role of coincidence in writing any book is so mysterious. There's a phone call that happens well, there are several phone calls, but there's one phone call in particular on my father's birthday, the first birthday of his after he dies, the telephone, and I'm unpacking what I've inherited, and the phone rings, and it's this man who was in my father's will, whom none of us knew, except that they'd gone to Greece together the last summer of my father's life. And what unfolds in this scene is that this man was my father's lover for almost 30 years. And I remember I had a migraine headache, and I was saying to myself, I should write this down. And I, grabbed a pen and continued the conversation. And it's sort of this, and I don't know what the book would have been if he hadn't turned up.
When I was creating Itzaak as a boy, as a kid who wanted to flee and get out of Brussels and have a bigger life, I decided that he would love the movies. It's 1940, and the movies were full of all those sexy starlets, which seemed like a thing that a boy might like, and it was also a way for me to learn something while I was writing, which has been one of the things I sort of give myself a challenge each time I've written something long, so I don't bore myself. But then soon afterwards, I was meeting with my dad, and he said to me, "So, Marcel Dalio was on the ship." I didn't know who Marcel Dalio was, so I said, "Well, no, it was Marcel Dalio." And he looked at me, as if I was really so ignorant. And he said, "Oh, Marcel Dalio, he was one of the great, great French actors. He was in all of Renoir's films. He was in The Rules of the Game. He was, in The Grand Illusion. His wife, Madeleine LeBeau, and he were both in Casablanca later." And I just, I could not believe it. I'd struck gold, and I thought, like, how? I said, "What do you mean he was on the ship? Did he get off in New York?" "No, he was among the 86. And I thought, oh my God, my character is stuck on board with, a fantastic actor and a 40-year-old actor and his 19-year-old drop-dead gorgeous wife.